Welcome to Big Rock Moto, where I do the dumbest things with motorcycles. Welcome to the Big Rock Moto test of the Lone Rider MotoPanniers. It's a really heavy sledgehammer. I'm not fooling around with this thing. Everything still operates just as it did when they were new, so.
We dropped them. We slammed them. Again and again.
Hello everyone and welcome to Big Rock Moto. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Quick favor as we're starting out, if you're going to purchase any gear from Lone Rider or any other stuff with the companies I work with, I have a bunch of affiliate links below. And yes, I do earn commissions on those, so that's my disclaimer. But I would really appreciate you doing that. It really helps this YouTube channel go forward. Also, another disclaimer is that I did receive these MotoPanniers free of charge, and I do earn commissions on the sales. So I always like to put these disclaimers up front so we're clear about what's going on. All right, with that out of the way, hard luggage for adventure bikes. Why? I think that if you're primarily riding on pavement and you're doing a lot of long distance touring, and especially if you're riding with a passenger and a lot of camping gear, you're probably already using hard luggage for your adventure travel. Compared to the soft bags that I use in a lot of my own personal adventures, hard luggage is more secure from theft and it's much more convenient to use. Now, of course, for hardcore off-road travel, I don't recommend using hard panniers. There's a couple reasons for that. One is that your leg can get swept back into the pannier, potentially hurting your leg or your ankle. If the bike falls over, the panniers can trap your leg between the pannier and the ground and potentially harm your leg that way. Also, they're more susceptible to damage than soft panniers in hardcore off-road situations. Now, all that being said, these are probably the toughest, most durable hard panniers that I've ever tested. So Lone Rider, after a long development period, long testing period, where they did a lot of also really crazy durability testing that I'm not going to do because I just got these bags and this is a loaner bike from BMW, so I'm not going to be throwing it and sliding it down the pavement like they did in the Lone Rider testing. But after a lot of development time, they've released these bags, the new MotoPanniers. Now, how are these different from your typical OEM or aftermarket hard panniers? Well, there's a few key differences that set these apart and in my opinion above those options. Number one is that they are built to a stronger standard. Number two, they mount more securely to the bike. And number three, they have more features and offer more accessories versus those other options. Now, you're going to ask, will these panniers work with my bike? So the first thing is that these MotoPanniers are a rack mounted pannier. You have to have a rack to mount these. This is not a rackless setup. Lone Rider does have rackless moto bags, the semi-rigid bags that fit certain models if you want a traditional type of pannier. And in addition to that, they also have their new ADV bags, which I've also done a video on, and of course I'll link that down below. And those would be your traditional horseshoe style soft luggage that do not require any pannier racks. These of course do need dedicated pannier racks. Now, if you own a BMW R1200 GS Adventure or R1250 GS Adventure, you are in luck because you will not have to buy Lone Rider racks for your bike, and these will fit directly onto your OEM GS Adventure racks. Now, any other bike beyond those two models I mentioned are going to require a Lone Rider moto rack specific for your bike. The reason that Lone Rider has chose to do this with a proprietary rack is really simple. It's to make the mounting more secure, because they could have developed a universal mounting system, but it would not have been as strong and secure as mounting it to their specific racks. Now, Lone Rider has racks for the following bikes, but they're going to be adding more as time goes on. R1300 GS and GS Adventure, the bike you see here, R1200 and R1250 GS and GSA if you don't have OEM racks from your Adventure version of those bikes. Yamaha Tenere 700, Triumph Tiger 900 and Tiger 1200, Honda Africa Twin 1100 and 1100 Adventure Sports, and the KTM 1290 Adventure S and Adventure R after they did the facelift in 2021 going forward. All right, let me give you a tour of how these things work. So here's the back of the right side pannier, the exhaust side. So this is the smaller pannier. Now on the back of it, you can see that you've got the mounting hardware and everything, which is pre-installed again to fit the racks that you're going to get. Now you can do micro adjustments or small adjustments to this, and I do include a tool to go ahead and do that if you need to. But I just want you to take a look at the engineering and the quality that goes into this stuff and just how robust it is. It's actually really, really nicely engineered and everything fits really well. So let me show you how to put the pannier on. So you can see I've got the motor rack installed here on the GSA. So all I do to put the pannier on is make sure that the lock is open and then approach the bike like this, line up the bags just like so, and then what I'm going to do is simply move them towards the rear of the bike like that until you can kind of see them engaging there. And then you can see here, this will now engage, and then I can close that latch. I can lock it, take the key out, and now the bag is extremely, extremely secure on there, locked on very, very securely. All right, so to get into the bag, of course you can, if you need to, depending on your top case setup, you can switch whether you want the bag to swing open like this or to swing open like that, your choice there, but they will come set up to swing open from this side from Lone Rider. So of course you have your lock here that you can use, so unlock, unlatch that, and boom, we're now into the pannier. So you can see that I've got the inner bags packed with some jackets and stuff like that here. So the nice thing about the inner bag is that it makes it actually fully waterproof. So you have water resistance on the aluminum, on the metal outer bag, and they have, you know, gasket and everything, but they can't be completely waterproof rated because especially if they get bent or as they use over time. The inner bag, not only do you need this for packing, ease of packing, and also if you want to take these to your hotel room at night or into your tent, you've got the inner bags here, which are great. I like to stuff the straps kind of in like this, and that seems to be a good way to go. So that's that. They open really easily. You could also run them without that if you wanted to, but I don't suggest it. Now you will notice these are lined. So unlike some of the cheaper bags out there that I've used, there's just bare metal. These have this kind of, it's not exactly foam. It's almost like a kind of a plastic with kind of a felt kind of a liner. But I really, really like that. I appreciate that. That was good attention to detail. Now moving into the lid of the bag, I really like that they designed and included these organizers. I think that's really fantastic. It's so useful to have. Of course, you can take the whole organizer out, or you can also, the mounting, it's going to be loud here for a second. You see the mounting is this sort of pad that mounts in here. You can take the whole thing out if you want, or I think you're going to like using it though. And then you can stick on different accessories here using the Velcro. So you've got like a small zipper pouch here. You've got some kind of tool holders here. You've got another tool holder thing here. You can use your imagination on what you might want to use that for. And then they give you this big zippered pouch here, which is very, very nice. Now in terms of the light, you can see the light here. It simply taps on and off, on and off. So if you're at night, and this will shine down onto the contents here and onto the lid. So that's nice. It just taps on and off. Now these, you can pull these off and recharge them via USB when the battery runs out in the light. So to close the bag up, simply it's easy as getting that aligned, closing that, locking it, and you walk away. That's much easier than dealing with straps of a soft pannier for sure. Looking around the back of the bags, you can see there are latches on both sides. Like I mentioned, you can reverse the opening if that's something that you want to do. You can see sort of the quality. It looks like an OEM rack. It truly does. The fit and finish and the fitment of it to the bike is like or better than an OEM accessory. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the MOLLE attachment. These are plastic panels they put on all three sides here, which is nice if you want to attach extra luggage bags to it. And you could, of course, use the Lone Rider accessory bags, which they have. I like these Velcro things here. You can put your country flag here if that's something you'd like to do. So that's a nice touch. There's just a lot of nice detail that goes into these. And then, of course, the crash bumpers on all the corners. Here you can see crash in all the corners, again, just for protection in case of drops and wear and tear and things like that. All right, so if you're ready to remove the bag, you would simply insert your key here. And did I mention that these keys or these locks can be coded to your BMW key if you have a BMW and that's something you want to do? So you would simply unlock this, push this forward. You can see the latch kind of comes out like that. Now you're ready to move the bag forward and take it off the motorcycle. Super, super simple and easy to do. I think that overall, considering this is Lone Rider's first ever time doing hard side cases. Now they have done the top case, the Moto case, which I have a video on, which I'll also link below, which I really like that product. But for the first time doing hard panniers, I think they have done an absolutely phenomenal job. They really seem to have taken their time, figured out the engineering, the design, the features that people want, building in the durability and sort of the crash protection that's needed. Just the little accessories like the inner organizers, the inner liner for making packing easier and making it fully waterproof. The little light that they include, the fact that you can key the locks to your BMW key. There's so much here that I really, really appreciate. And I've used a lot of different OEM hard luggage and aftermarket hard luggage in the 20 plus years I've been doing adventure motorcycle riding. These bags really do stand out. And if you're in the market for hard luggage, I would highly recommend that you check these out. After throwing them off my roof, they still they still work perfectly as designed. Still perfect. Of course, I know these bags are a significant investment in terms of cost. So I definitely recommend checking out Lone Rider's own videos on these bags to get all the specific little details. They have a wonderful website with frequently asked questions and engineering information and fitment information. You should check that out. I would also encourage you, since you're going to be investing a significant chunk into buying something like this, go out and look for other reviews from other moto influencers, moto creators like myself, and to gather a variety of opinions on these and look at the other options out there as well, as always. But I don't think that you're going to be disappointed if you get these. And yeah, I wouldn't be publishing this video if I didn't think these were a truly excellent product. All right, so again, if you're going to purchase anything from Lone Rider, please use my affiliate links. You can also bookmark my link tree, which I'll have below, and anytime you're shopping for any of the websites out there, you can simply go through my link and I'll get a little kickback when you're shopping. I really, really appreciate that. If you have questions for me, put those down below. Other than that, thanks for watching, ride safe, and I'll see you out there.